Alright, let's dive into something that's quietly reshaping how we pay for stuff: digital wallets. And no, I'm not just talking about tapping your phone at the checkout. What's really fascinating here is how these wallets are evolving beyond just a digital version of your card. They are becoming mini accounts in their own right, and that's a game changer. Here's the hook. According to a recent report, over 1 in 10 in-store payments now use digital wallets. That's up from less than 1% just 3 years ago. Crazy, right? But what makes this really interesting is the why behind it, and where the money's coming from. So, let's break this down. First, the numbers. In 2025, 11.8% of consumers used a digital wallet for their most recent in-store purchase. Meanwhile, cash usage dropped to 12.1%, down from 17.6% in 2022. Personally, I think this is a huge deal. Digital wallets aren't just catching up to cash, they're practically neck and neck. But here's the kicker: 3.7% of those wallet payments were funded by stored balances inside the wallet itself. That's a 270% jump from 2023. What this really suggests is that wallets are no longer just a digital sleeve for your card, they're becoming a standalone payment tool. Now, let's pause for a second. What many people don't realize is that this shift has massive implications for both consumers and providers. For consumers, it's about convenience. Having a stored balance in your wallet means one less step at checkout, no waiting for a card to process, no fumbling with cash. But from my perspective, the bigger story here is for the providers. If wallets can hold balances, they can start offering more services, like rewards, budgeting tools, or even microloans. It's like turning your wallet into a mini-bank. And that's where things get really interesting. But here's the thing: traditional payment methods aren't going anywhere. Debit cards still dominate, accounting for 46.3% of in-store transactions in 2025, with credit cards at 31.7%. Digital wallets are growing, but they're not replacing these methods, they're layering on top of them. What this tells me is that we're moving toward a hybrid payment ecosystem. One thing that immediately stands out is how banks and card issuers are still firmly in the picture. Wallets might be gaining ground, but they're not cutting out the middleman, yet. Now, let's zoom out for a broader perspective. If you take a step back and think about it, this trend is part of a larger shift toward embedded finance. It's not just about paying for your coffee, it's about how money moves, period. A detail I find fascinating is how quickly this is happening. 3 years ago, almost no one was using stored balances in their wallets. Now it's a significant chunk of transactions. This raises a deeper question: are we headed toward a world where your wallet is your primary financial hub? Personally, I think it's possible, but it's not a given. There are still trust and security hurdles to clear. So, where does this leave us? In my opinion, digital wallets are at a crossroads. They're no longer just a novelty, they're a serious player in the payment space. But their future depends on how well they can integrate with existing systems while offering something new. Will they become the go-to for everyday spending? Or will they stay a niche tool for tech-savvy users? That's the million-dollar question. What do you think? Are you team digital wallet, or are you sticking with cash and cards? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to hear your take.